And okay, put it on view mode and move to the next slide. Yeah. Okay, I'm going to do a rapid fire session on this. You all know this. Every time we put up January 9, you can see this. We didn't even have a theme. We just said, say 1,000 crore liters of water, and we sent it out to people. I think we got about 30 to 35 people in that first round. Who is it for, we asked. Anyone who cares for the mission. These are not lines that appear today in the posters, as you know. Some of you know, I mean, all of you know. This is not a webinar. This is a meeting of all of our minds now. And the highlights that we put out at the end of the week before the next session showed us clearly the breakup. We saw that, nearly 80% of the water discharge came from residential section. 55,000 crores. I mean, I will not put it into billions now, 550 billion liters. Okay. And we said, where are we going from this? And then we got to breaking it up. And that is where I think the journey began with the subgroups. And therefore the idea of action groups was born. The next slide. There, you see that. From that 1,000 crore liters, we also got, of course, the Pollution Control Board and the Water Supply Board to come in. And they participated in that session as well as the next session. WOW 3 also they participated. By which time we had got to about 45 or 48 people, I think, in that session, which is the second session. You can see that from January 9, we moved, the dates are not showing right. Kevin, something wrong with that date. It should have been January 23rd or something. Anyway, construction water, we realized in that meeting of WOW 2, before we moved to WOW 3, we thought, when Syed Khaja told us about that, we said, now what are we going to do with that? Not that we have come up with any solutions for that. This construction water of 15,000 crore liters is, how much is that? 150 billion liters, let us say. I mean, I'm saying that because there are people who don't understand crores and lakhs. We knew that there had to be a solution to come, but after the next 7 weeks, we haven't arrived at one. The next one, please. Look at what happened here. The theme was set. For the first time, we set a theme. I mean, though there was a theme in the beginning of water and apartments, we had not stated that in our posters. Then came this water and neighborhoods. We said, we'll see how we can go beyond apartments, but we did not go. I'm also pointing out our, shall we say, shortcomings. We have not gone to understanding what we will do at the ward level of a corporation. We have, as you all know, we have 198 wards. We have not yet focused on that because we have been very overwhelmed by this whole challenge of apartments itself over the last 9 sessions so far. But then, that other idea that came from Ajit Sabnis, I think, I don't know if he's there, I've not checked the participants list. 2 liters, if each of us dropped, it will mean another 1,100 crore liters or 110 billion liters. A nice thought he left with us, but we didn't know how to take this forward. Next one, please. There we were at this session, which was WOW 6. And by WOW 6, we had come to clearly, we were talking about a range of water solutions as a theme, as you can see from the poster on the left. And then, there were citizen leaders becoming backbone of the mission. Clearly, as our Suresh Bhai will recall, the action group for apartments had been constituted by that time. AF was in the process of setting up a helpline because that idea had come up in the previous sessions on how we can offer technical advice. Vijay Raj had said, I will go and do audits if necessary, free of cost with my team, if there is an apartment which is needing it. COVID and all that, we have not been able to do that. That's fine. But the point is that we evolved with this idea saying that we are willing to give you free, thoughts, free counsel on how you can go about creating your water solutions. Go on, please. Next one. There we are. I don't have to read the highlights, but the theme here was making WOW every person's mission. We moved further, therefore, the focus was getting a little more clear that we have to move away from solution providers. Solution providers, all of us have challenges. We know that. We know how the market resists us. And you have observed stories of how they resist us. We know that. But how do we go beyond that? The next comes. Mission is now to take the message, it says, to as many water users as we can. We have not been able to move that. You can see that this is WOW 5. From WOW 5, we have come WOW 10. So, we have taken these 2 months from that time. Why have we not been able to move? It needs promotion. It needs Facebook and social media and all that. And we have been strapped for funds. And we have not had somebody who is able to, from Google or whatever, to give us any donor kind of contributions for such social marketing. Our Ganesh Chanbag has been saying, and a couple of others, Arun Sitaram, I think Sharath, and one more person, Varun, they've all been saying that they will see what they can do to get something like that as social marketing. We don't need money if we can get this going. So that's another thing that has been stuck with us for some time. Yeah. Maybe we'll hear Harry Cohen also just after I speak, because he has to leave. We'll make a departure because he has been doing some such work. Is what he told me yesterday. Go on, please. Next one. That Wow Yuva was created. If you go back to the previous slide, go on. Last one was young citizens are key to stirring action among the old. This idea came because of those three, that girl, 14-year-old who spoke, and the young boy and a couple of other kids. And then by the next one, go on, please. We started the Wow Yuva, or the youth, whatever kind of group for achievers, and KL Mohan Rao came in. He has been struck with COVID positive, the entire family, his daughter-in-law, his son, his wife, everybody is down with COVID, whatever. And therefore, he has been a little inactive just now. Next one, please. There you are. By Wow 7, we have clearly come to these kinds of conclusions. Look at the third one. Wastewater discharge into lakes should be prohibited by strict penalties on offenders. We can't do anything about it. Yesterday, we were speaking to Mr. Tippeswamy, the former chief engineer, a legend in the department, hugely admired and respected. Again, he doesn't have ideas yet as to how we can break into those areas where there is interface with the government. And you know how it is when it comes to the government in India. Although I personally am familiar with such processes for at least the last 15 years, I find that it's very difficult to move things, as Tippeswamy also said yesterday. Go on, please. The next one. There we are. We had started by this time also the other two groups. Wow Yuva was started. Wow, what was that? The group, Water Recovery Action Group was started, and one more was started for schools, which came about by Wow 3 itself. So we had 4 action groups by Wow 8, right? And we started talking about these compliance. If we, even now I'm saying this, and I'd like you all to make notes as I'm speaking now, or as you see these points, so that you can, guide us. We need guidance from here, from all of you as leaders. We said to ourselves, if there is full compliance, if everybody becomes a law-abiding citizen, every apartment dweller or every RWA is fully compliant by the law. I'm not asking for anything more than that. I know this city will move forward. You know what our Sri Padre said in this meeting on how water-rich areas are always very poor on water literacy. If I take Bangalore, which receives 1000 mm rainfall or 900 mm rainfall, if I go to say Jaipur, which receives 600 mm rainfall, or Barmer in Western Rajasthan, which receives no more than 200 mm rainfall, you can see the difference of literacy there. In a book that Ramchandra Guha writes about Porbandar, he wrote a wonderful biography, a 2-volume biography of Gandhiji. And he writes about how in those times of the 1860s, they were harvesting and husbanding rainwater. Like they say, every kid, every kid understands what water harvesting is if you go to Rajasthan or to Western Gujarat. Go on, please, the next one. So poor water literacy is inversely proportionate to water richness. What do we do with that? Bringing force. This is the last one, Wow 9. And trying times, this idea came from Suresh Bhai, who said, look, with COVID, what are we to do? No one is coming in. And you know what the discussions were. It must be pretty fresh in your minds. A lot of you were present and extremely active in that session. And I'm grateful to you all for that. And all these 4 highlights came about. And we started that 5th group. It's not yet fully, shall we say, on its feet now, educational campuses and so on. Of course, the last one, proactive support from the PCB will help citizens resolve way. We all know this, that the elephant in the room always is the government, which is never there. The next one, please. So here we are bringing action on ground with water users. Shivani Thakur, who has also been leading the social media front, ably guided and supported by Ganesh Chanbag and a couple of others, is the one who came up. We had 5 themes and then we voted on what should be the theme, and the team agreed that we should be putting this up this time. If you remember 2 weeks ago, I asked some of the senior members here, senior leaders here, like Mr. Sitapati Rao and Suresh Pai and others, whether we should devolve leadership on even the choice of the themes for the sessions to come into the future. This time, the team has done it. This theme was chosen by the team here internally. Into the future, I request you all to see how you can come up with ideas on what it should be. Usha, if you don't mind, we will make a slight departure in deference to Harry Cowan's request to want to move out. We will listen to him for 3-4 minutes and then we will continue.
Certainly, certainly.
So good afternoon once again, Harry. We will listen to you now and see how you can tell us what you would want to do.
Well,
in India.
Very interesting. Thank you for that presentation. It's very informative. In fact, I would, I think it was Kevin who was, I could benefit from having a copy of that emailed to me. I thought that was very useful. We spoke to Harry yesterday. We specialise in wastewater treatment and therefore addressing the whole issue of also wastewater treatment for reuse and cleanliness and health, of course, without using toxic chemicals, which is where things are done mostly in the Western world. We're also partnering with a company in Norway who do waste to energy plants. So we're combining both of our processes to create a true circular economy opportunity, and that's what Harry referred to in Turkey. So what I'd like to do is to, obviously engage to the extent that I can, be part of the action group if possible, and use any resources and profiling that I can do in the UK. And well, we've quite a large following of what we do on LinkedIn, so I want to use the social media platform that we have to push out your message as well, because we are genuinely interested in what we can do. We think there probably is expertise that we can bring that can inform some of the actions that you will be doing locally. Yesterday, after we met, Harry, I met with one of my directors who has a large number of family in India, actually, and may well be able to give us some avenues to get to senior figures or even politicians. So as we develop our relationship, which I'm very happy to do, and I'd like to be taking part, then I think I'd like to see how we can bring our profile and our knowledge and ideas to contribute to your action group. So I'm keenly interested in what you're doing. I think it's a fantastic movement. I'm quite moved by the extent of what I would call the grassroots involvement. I think that's a great way to go. Ultimately, pressure will prevail and we will be listened to. So I'm identifying strongly with what you are. So I'd like to, I do have to, I have another appointment I have to make, actually. I've got a Zoom call to Turkey, actually. So that's why I had to duck out at 1 o'clock. I have another Zoom call. So I will interface with Harry and make sure that I can be invited to action groups and perhaps something forums to the extent I can. I will then build up my knowledge base and we will start profiling your initiative and your movement as well as, to repeat myself, bring whatever technical expertise and thoughts and ideas to your movement and to your action plan, which sounds very impressive in the short time you've been going. I think this is a commendable initiative and you must be very proud of it. So I'm taking that away from me, and I think the commitment is quite a challenge. We sometimes get a little bit complacent in the Western world, so I can see this. I visited India very briefly a few years ago. I was in Pune doing some work with a UK company. I have an insight, but that's all it is. It was fleeting insight. So at least I have some context for what you're doing. And there was my wife also took part in the charity cycle ride from Agra to Jaipur several years ago. So we both have had a taste of India, I would call it, rather than knowledge of India. So I hope to increase my knowledge of the challenges and hopefully where we can bring some contributions. So please feel free to engage me in these ongoing meetings, Harry, and maybe the smaller action group, which I'll be delighted and privileged to take part in.
Lovely, absolutely lovely. Thank you so much, Harry, for being here with us today. Despite your other challenges, you have another meeting to go to, and I'm sure you haven't had lunch.
Not yet.
We have posted your profile on the chat box for the rest of them to check out. I've
Yes,
also
please.
posted a link to one of your features where you write about acta non-verbal.
Yes, actions, not words.
Absolutely.
It's my
Absolutely.
strat line, actions, not words.
Absolutely.
And I think words are cheap and words are easy.
Absolutely. In fact, when I read that feature, I thought of what Usha told us sometime in December. She said, if this is not about action, this is not going to go anywhere. And therefore, the word action forum came about,
Yes, yeah. Wonderful.
Great. We will let you go now. And
thank you very much. I've enjoyed listening. Thank you for including me. And I look forward to the next engagement.
With that action group for water recovery, we will do a more focused session with the other three leaders who are present here, of course. They're not speaking now, but I'll introduce you to them in the coming week. We will fix a time.
Wonderful.
And thank you, Harry. Thank you for being with us.
And have a good day or good evening.
Likewise, and good afternoon to you. Thank you.
Thank you for involving me. Bye now.
Right. Thank you, Harry. Yeah. Okay, Usha, back to you. Sorry to all of you that I had to break the schedule, since he had to leave for whatever that he has on his schedule. He made this, quick, whatever decision to be with us after I wrote to him this morning. Usha and Shivani, the floor is yours. I'll mute myself. Please see what you want to anchor, and I will write down, I will learn from all the leaders as they speak.
No problem.
Poster, please, the last poster, the last slide, please, so that everyone is reminded of what we have to think about and talk about today and learn from.
Pardon?
No, I was asking Kevin to put the last slide, the poster.
Okay, yeah.
So we are reminded of the theme and so on. And you take over now, Usha.
Yeah, hello everyone. So with Harry, we have one more addition to the WOW family. Like I said yesterday, welcome to the WOW family. So the WOW family is growing, and that's what we need. Very briefly, what I will talk about my journey so far. The pace has been set. We have to carry this pace forward. We have been successful in putting many systems in place, and it's been wonderful being part of this journey so far. But unfortunately, I would say that I continue to be as a non-convert in the minority. This is what needs to be changed. The real target or the objective of this mission is to get people to understand, value, accept, and implement sustainability solutions. The target of 1,000 crore liters, saving 1,000 crore liters, I think will happen. I mean, I kind of have figured that out in this short while. That's very, very heartening. But along with that, we have to get more and more and more people joining us. It's only then that we will say that this target has been, this mission has been successful. So that is the target that we are looking for. I think we all need to put our heads together. We need all your suggestions, actions to work towards that. Making a WOW every person's mission. I mean, that's a title which will stay with me. The way I look at the scenario now, I say that the script is ready, the stage is set, the star cast has also been done. Every water user is our hero and heroine. That's how I put it. But unfortunately, they don't know that they are the heroes and heroines, and that we are waiting for them to come onto the stage and get into action mode. A little bit of it has happened, but a lot more needs to happen. Unfortunately, I would again say that I'm beginning to talk technology. That should not be the way it is. I mean, I'm understanding so much of the technology because that's happening here. I need to understand, and that also needs to happen. But along with that, we need to get in a lot more people who take up this because they realize that there is no substitute for water. So that's what I will say. Shivani has been a great help in bringing our focus all the time to action. Yes, I brought in that word, and that is the word which excited me. But now I think it is Shivani who's drawing our attention and taking us forward and saying, but what about action? There are so many ideas, there are so many possibilities, but action, ground level action. Shivani, thank you for all that you've been doing, particularly the SM campaign for guiding the young brigade that we have, and for analog minds like us. I am also beginning to understand a little bit of the digital world.
Sure.
Um,
Sure.
Shivani, anything that you would like to say and take it forward?
Yes, thank you, Ushaji.
Maybe you should turn on your video. I forgot to turn on my video at that time.
Turning video won't be possible because I don't have light here.
Okay, all right, go on, please.
But
Go on.
yes, so I've joined on 7th, 8th WOW, and all I've been trying to get focus on how do we bring everything to an action, and I've found many in the group, they're also talking on the same line. How do we get things to the action? And getting to by receiving everybody's feedback, we have at least tried to streamline the website. We are trying to streamline all information that anybody needs to keep.
What do you need as action,
to the action?
Please specify what you need as action from all the members and leaders here.
Yes, so now I'm hoping that this forum become a floor for every action to come forward and
specify.
give their
For
plans.
example, I'll give you an example so that you can ask them. You can say from tomorrow or today or whatever, I'm going to be putting up posts. I want you all to like, share, and not just view. For example, I'm giving you an example.
Sure, on digital front, yes. I request everybody to join whenever we are going to announce our Facebook page. It's already there. We are revamping it a bit. All of the social media handles.
Okay. Can you now
that is one point. And second,
And
second, I'm looking more on action-oriented plans coming from the team as how they are planning to take things on ground, and that we can capture and put in digital world and take it to the world about.
Give an example so that people can understand. What would you want from, if I'm, say, Mamta, I'm Vijay Raj, I'm somebody else, what would you want from me?
So to start with, we have to study a bit more, but if anybody's coming up with their next project, if they like, they can announce it on WOW Forum. Which world can know this is how some place has adopted some solution. Sure. And this is how even they can adopt solution, and that way would be shown.
Okay. Can you now frame this as questions that you can ask the forum members?
Yes, my number one question would be, how do you plan to proceed on ground?
Okay. Second
number
question.
2 question is, what kind of support you would be needing from WOW team? Okay. Number 3rd question would be, if any of you would like to collaborate in taking your ideas to the world with the team. Right now, we at the back end working in the silos, and Action Group is working on there. I'm looking more way if we can blend both the teams and come forward with more robust plan. So yeah,
would you want to now open to the floor? Do you want the floor to respond to what you asked? And let me add, if you don't mind, before any one of you speaks, to acknowledge the presence of a few people. There is an interesting person called Sunil from Goa, who's already got a group of about 50 people who are committed to water. And he's asking me, please tell us what we can do there. He will also speak. I will request him to speak at some point of time. We have a few more people, of course, there is Dr. Daniel Albuquerque from Goa. He's committed, he's interested, but he's not been able to do anything to convert to action. We have Faiza Jamal, who is also an urban planner, who has just come in for the first time. She's coming here, and I'm acknowledging your presence. There is Jagdish Kumar from Hyderabad, and I've already introduced him to our Mr. Sitapati Rao. He has a small house that he's under construction, and he has challenges with water, so I said I will see if I can put him up there. Then there are people like Jyoti Gandhi, who has done a wonderful report on sustainability and the built environments, in the built environment space. It's a very studied document. She's a professional in the domain. And along with her, there are two other people who also perhaps have joined us. These are all people who are in the domain, but not in the technical domain of, shall we say, of solution providing, like say Vijay Rajesh or Mr. Rao is, or any of the others. The rest of them, you know. Anyone can now speak, please. I was just acknowledging presence of these people. Go on.
Yeah,
This is Dr. Hari. Sorry.
Yes, please. Yes.
Okay. So this is Dr. Hari. The first time I joined. I'm from Bangalore.
Okay.
Just have few proposals. I think 1,000 crore liters. Honestly, for Bangalore is a very small number. I'll give you our own apartment example.
Thank you.
We are a resident community of 323 residents. We save over 5 crore liters of water per year.
What is the apartment called? What is it?
It's called Chartered Beverly Hills
I
Apartment.
know. Yeah, that's right.
I mean,
Yeah.
rainwater itself.
You are one of the awardees today at the ceremony. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
rainwater itself, we save about close to 50 lakh liters. Plus the other is the recycling of the STP water and other things.
Great.
My action items, I have quick ones. Quick suggestions is that we have 199 wards. Each ward has to find the local heroes there. I mean, we have to divide and then work with the BWSLP, KSPCB teams on a ward footing, and then work out on the local solutions, because today we don't need expensive equipments for STPs. We don't need expensive chemicals.
Right.
We need very simple, sustainable solutions, which we are there. All of us put together in this team have it. It is not that we have to go some, I mean, honestly speaking, all of us put together, we have it there. I think a manual around it, that how people can come up with a simple guideline solutions. Individual houses, I mean, you said somebody from Hyderabad as like, small, house that is going to construct. That person, if individuals vouch that they are going to work on a zero discharge from their home,
Correct.
from the houses there. Every house can be built in, designed to that. It's very easy to do that there. Okay? And this is what we have done in our apartment also. We don't discharge even a 1 ml of water outside our apartment.
Lovely.
Right. So these are all going to be very useful things there. I think we can just come up with a manual which says that how a simple house towards a complex apartments can work on saving water.
Hari Goburu, one question for you. I'm asking on behalf of all the other members. Did you spend the money on the water solutions, or did you push the builder to spend the money?
So it was partly builder has just handed over and they went at that time, because builder handed over 8 years back.
I know Hegde also very well. Hegde is a personal friend also.
He's done his best at that point
Correct.
of time with the technologies that were available.
Correct.
But then KSPCB has changed the specifications, right? I mean, earlier they were using chlorine there, and I was dead against using any kind of chlorinated chemicals, because it oxidizes and then it goes and kills the aqua life. So what we have done is we have moved more towards ozonations there, where the byproduct is an oxygen there.
Right.
So some of the modifications we have done, and the resident community has paid by themselves.
Right.
And then they got the benefit, because when they see 5 crore liters of water has been saved per year, they
Hari,
see the benefit.
can I for efficiency of time, I will ask anybody else to respond to what Hari Goburu has said. He is talking of 5 crore liters, 50 million liters that his apartment brings, more than half of it coming from STP and the rest of it coming from RWH. Anyone who wants to speak on what we should do to bring action of this kind on the ground?
Suresh Bhai here.
Yes.
Have you done surface water harvesting or only a rooftop?
So entire surface water harvesting
Suresh
goes on to
Bhai, I will govern this, if you don't mind.
Yeah.
Let's not go into the details of the solution.
Okay.
If the question to Hari Goburu is, how did you achieve acceptance from all the resident association members?
Okay.
How did you get the managing committee, or whatever that terrible thing is called, to accept the solution? Hari, can you tell us about that?
So initially, there was a lot of pushback and apprehensions at how we are going to use it out there.
Yes.
But then we did. Yeah.
What did you do to overcome that?
So I think we have taken multiple things. One is the KSPCB has helped us out with their norms, because they came out our apartment. They kept on sending some legal notices to our apartment that what are the measures that we are taking. Right. That has actually, that legal monster has helped everybody, saying that, hey, we have to legally follow this. There's nothing, we have no choice but to follow that. Please use that legal handle by KSPCB. If your apartment is not following,
how do we use that legal handle, Hari? Can you tell us?
So you can go to your local KSPCB office and then ask them to send a notice to your apartment if they are not following the regulations. That
Come again
itself
on that.
will shake everything.
We go to the local PCB office.
Local PCB office, tell them that your apartment is not following the regulations that is need to be followed out there. They will start sending legal notice to the management committee. The moment
You are
the legal
saying,
notices start,
you are saying if I'm a flat owner in an apartment, I must go to the local PCB office and tell
Yes.
them, look, my apartment is not doing this. What do you do? Right? And,
Yes.
and then have a notice served on them, right?
yes, yes. So once
Okay,
couple of
yeah.
notices serve,
Okay.
everybody in the apartment will start falling in line, because that becomes a hot topic of discussion, because they're
Suresh
going to
bhai,
stop the
now,
drain.
now back to you, Suresh bhai. What would you, how would you want to either further ask or respond to it?
No, I think it is a good challenge. They have convinced the residents to go for whatever the type of spending on sustainability. I think the managing committee has done well. Was there any opposition for spending? See, generally most of the apartment associations, what happens is 95 accept, 5% don't accept.
Correct.
So
Hari,
was
Yeah.
there any
Yeah.
kind of resistance within the group?
correct.
So there was resistance, but then what we have always continuously demonstrated that one needs to be patient, because the first presentation that you make to the management committee, it is always a no. So therefore, be consistent, and then for 3 to 4 months or 6 months, don't get into any fights with the residents or with the management committee, because that's going to end out there with the local politics and other things.
Got
Be
it.
consistent and show your intent that you don't have any other intent except for saving water, which is going to be useful for the current generation and the next generation.
How did you go
Involve
about
children.
that process? You know, in an apartment
So-
like yours, if you are saying 5 crore liters,
Hmm.
you are obviously what, about 300 flats or 350 flats? How
Yeah,
many?
323 flats. So I will
323
tell you
flats.
some of the cultural aspects we went through also.
Yeah,
Some of the
yeah.
cultural aspects is where somebody said, well, how can I use STP recycled water for toilet flushes, right?
Correct.
I mean, so
Correct.
I consistently showed them, I took a water bottle and then went into each and every house and I said, can you identify my recycled water towards the Bisleri water?
Are you
90%
saying,
of them failed.
Hari Guburu, are you saying that you went to every single 300 of the 320 families?
Yes, almost like whoever were occupied. So 300, up to 300. I
Did
went
you
to
do
every
that
family.
alone, or did you have other members helping?
We had 2 to 3 volunteers more. So we took 3
Amazing.
Bisleri bottles.
Amazing.
We took 3 Bisleri bottles, water. He said,
So
this
what
is
you are
STP
in effect
recycled
telling
water.
us, I think what you're telling us is in every apartment, we have to find one such Sanchalak or a catalyst. Is that what you're saying?
Yes. And then people are passionate because the intent is good, right? Everybody loves this intent.
So,
But they are apprehensive. As long as their apprehensions are addressed, things will move fast.
right. Suresh bhai, as chairperson of the Action Group for Apartments, my suggestion to you is, instead of looking for apartments, what we should look at is one person or 2 people in every one of those apartments who can be a catalyst. Maybe we can even put out a LinkedIn, Shivani, we can even put in a LinkedIn set of messages saying, we are looking for catalysts who want to bring, what did Shivani call it? Change makers. We can call them change makers and see that we create a rostrum of such change makers, 1 or 2 families like Hari Guburu, who will be from an apartment. I'm not saying from a ward. Back to you, Hari. You talked about the ward and, identifying a key person in the ward. That's a very complex task. Can you tell us more about it?
So each ward has divided into lanes, make it very simpler in sense. Each
Right.
lane, if you have it, there are key lanes that are there.
Tough.
All
tough.
lanes,
Mm.
all
Okay.
lanes lead to each lane will have one volunteer. Trust me, when we talk to people, when we form these forums there,
Mhm.
and each lane, the water coming out of each lane, if you can put out a localized solution that you dig up a rainwater harvesting pit and then let entire water be soaked there, instead of
Right.
you sending into the nalas and then nalas going to the
Wonderful.
main
Wonderful. Hari
cause.
Guburu.
Just find a localized solution, sir.
Got it. We are going to invite you, I'm saying this in this open forum, we are going to invite you to be a privileged member of the Action Group for Apartments that is headed by our Mr. Suresh bhai. Phenomenal man. I will see that you both exchange notes. And into the next meeting of the Action Group, it has had 7 meetings so far. And when he convenes the next meeting, we will ensure that you are there to also guide some energies for the Action Group for Apartments.
It will be my pleasure to do that.
Thank
It
you
will
so
be
much.
normally on the first Fridays and third Fridays.
Absolutely.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
Vivek Mangal is already saying, Vikas Mangal, sorry, is saying that we need to find the supporters, especially people who are highly influential, like doctors. He's right. So we need to find not these sustainability experts. We don't want solution experts. Solution experts are always suspect in the eyes of the consumer. We have to look for, like Ganesh Shanbhag is just now saying, influencers. We can call them change makers or influencers. Ganesh, would you want to add at this point in time, since you have such wonderful thoughts every time?
Yes. First of all, congratulations to Hari Kapuru sir for sharing his wonderful story with us. It actually resonates with me because I am also doing the same thing in a smaller apartment, 88 sized apartment, and our figures stand out at around 2 crore a liter. So my takeaway from whatever he said is we have to make this story into a case study and put it on our social media handle, so that more and more people get influenced and more and people get reached out to us by looking at those stories. As I was chatting with you, it can be on different kind of tools like Facebook, for example. We can make a stories and a short little write-up, a nice photograph, and we can publish it on our social media handles.
Shivani, please note, I know he has been already mentoring the team. Let us take this up very specifically with Ganesh, now that he is out of the personal challenges he had, and let's see that we act upon this one. Yeah. Yes, Shivani.
And point number 2 to Hari, it is not point, it is a request to Hari sir. It would be really great, like if you can allow few visitors to have a look and feel of your system, because in Kannada, as we call Kannare Kandaru Pramanisi Nodu, right? Like we have a set of people who can only understand the system when they look at it.
Sure, there are.
Absolutely, sir.
Yeah.
I'm happy to do that, sir.
Sure,
I can give my apartment address as well as the link, and I can volunteer
So
myself that
why
whoever wants to
I
visit.
am right? Why I brought up this particular request is because Bangalore is such a huge geographical area, and if we have some points at different locations, it's very easy to divert people around their own geographies.
Sure. The last time, I think it was Vijay Raj, and then of course our Mr. Sitapati Rao also, who said, look, there is only a month and a half before the monsoons end. We need to bring some focus on rainwater harvest. Anyone who wants to have a quick word on it before I request our Goa guest to speak, Mr. Sunil Doran? Anyone who
I
wants
have
to
a small point, Dr. Hariharan.
Yes, please.
So how to influence
Hello?
the management committee?
No, one more. Let Mr. Sitapati Rao speak. After that, Sunil, your turn. Yes, Mr. Rao.
Hello?
As I talk, yeah.
Yes.
Can I
Sir.
talk?
Yes, Mr. Rao.
Yeah. See,
Sir, can I speak, sir?
No, Mr. Rao is speaking. After that, you will speak. Go on, Mr. Rao.
the
Welcome.
way to influence the management committee, how we achieved it. One particular example I give you, which is happening right now in our place. What we did was, we formed about half a dozen opinion makers. Okay. These opinion makers, what we did is, we said we must form a subcommittee. It is not directly for rainwater harvesting.
No.
It is on a
No,
waterproofing issue.
we have to go one step backward, Mr. Rao. First, you tell me where is
Yes.
that apartment before I find the 4 people in the apartment. Where is that apartment? That is what we
Our
need to find.
apartment is in Hyderabad. It's called Giridhar Dixit.
No, not that way. I'm saying in Bangalore, in your process of thinking, you have already gone to the next step of finding 4 people in an apartment. My question is, how do I first find the apartment itself? So I will park that thought that you have offered. I'll go to Sunil now and then to Mamta. Sunil, please.
Yes.
For a minute or 2, please, if you don't mind, Sunil.
Yes.
Yes.
Good evening. My name is Advocate Sunil Lauren, and I'm from Goa. I represent another organization called JCI. So it is for the youngsters between 18 to 40 years of age. And we have quite a few people in our chapter itself. We are from Vasco chapter. So we have about 50 people, youngsters from Vasco chapter.
Okay.
And similarly about along in this whole Goa, parts of Maharashtra, and the about 1,000 members we have, JCI, youngsters. So what we were thinking is that something, we were very fascinated with the idea that small differences and small changes
Right.
can lead to large amount of water storage and safety. So we wanted something like that to happen.
You are from an area, Goa itself. I mean,
Yes,
Vasco, you are
yes.
saying as a sub-region. You are
Yes.
from an area which receives 3 times the rainfall that Bangalore gets.
Correct.
Obviously, your water literacy will be much lower than it is in Bangalore because you get so much water. People take it for granted. But you know the crisis also that we are having today. Dan Albuquerque, who is here, he's from closer to Panaji. I don't know the area that he belongs to. He has no water again, he says, and he is very close to the Mandovi, about a kilometer away from the Mandovi as the land rises. So my point is that whether it's your city or whether your state, since it's a small one, or Kochi, for instance, which receives the same amount of wind, they all have the same problem.
Yeah.
You know, you heard Harry Cohen. He's also saying we have the same problem in Istanbul and other places that they're working. What do you want from us, Sunil? And then I will move to Mamta.
Yeah, so basically what we wanted is that a small project, trial project, which we can run, which we can replicate all over Goa, which with the minimum presently resources will be an issue. So we, as an organization, we have trainers, like they are taught to train. So we have our USPs, we have trainers, so we can do the training bit of it. And we also are organizing various we have various programs. So with minimum resources, we can, if we
Great.
can do maximum benefit.
Excellent.
So, and our president, Peter D'Souza, he is also present.
He's
with us
also
today.
available. I saw he's also there. Good evening, Peter D'Souza.
Good evening, sir. Good evening.
Yeah, go on.
Yeah, I'm just listening and trying to understand, how this WOW AV works. So as soon as, like, I think Sunil has already given you a heads up about our organization.
Right.
Okay, so this year I'm the president of JCI Vasco, and as Sunil already said, like, we want to do something better for the society. Water harvesting is even though you said there is rainfall and we have plenty of water. Even I live next to a river, but still there's water scarcity sometimes.
Sure.
So this kind of projects can help Goa as well and locals as well over here.
Can I request you to turn on your video so that we see you also? Yeah, you have a challenge. Okay. All right. There you are.
Yeah,
there you
can see me now.
All right. Okay.
Yeah.
Wonderful listening to both of you.
Yes.
Yeah. You asked
You
about
would like
the
to know more about the project, and
You will
so
know.
that we can, educate.
See, we will take you through the methodology. We will only request you to offer us time like this every alternate Saturday when we have these WOW forum meetings. We will also invite the senior leaders. We will invite, please, we will invite some of you senior leaders to be observers. I mean, with the permission of the chairpersons of the action groups, we will do that so that you understand how we go about it. Then we can start one WOW kind of whatever, movement out there in your city or in your state, I will say, since you're very small. Mamta, your turn now, please.
Yeah, good evening, everybody. See, this is regarding, I can only speak about rainwater harvesting. What I did is that I started contacting my clients, though we have Mr. Vijayaraj will tell, we have a very big clientele when it comes to farmland, but I also have certain apartments, and we started asking. So the people, instead of going and trying to find and convince people who have already got it done, they have become a good reference point. And suppose they have one more block, the next to theirs, and this has been successful. So they have already said, one person has already committed that they want to do one more block.
How do we do that? What is the short point we can do with apartments where you've already done?
It's very easy, sir, because they are very happy. Actually, the best thing is, as a marketing communication person, which basically I'm a marketing company. Best thing is to start with sending a survey, small survey form to the existing customers, how happy they are.
We sent it, Mamta, I don't know if it is our failure or, resistance from people. We sent it to 50 apartments. Our Suresh Bhai knows, Satish Malia is here. None of them, zero.
Give it to me, sir. I will cooperate. At least I can do physically. I cannot move around.
I know. I agree with you.
Survey form needs to be followed.
Let us follow this up. Before the evening ends, we will send Mamta the survey form, right?
We'll do that. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you. Any other point from you, Mamta, before we move on to DJ Manohar?
Sir, I want to ask you one more thing. I will include a couple of them are there who have got a very good knowledge on STP, which in your group, okay? Mr. Sumukha Natarajan, he has worked in Israel also. He was in Gulf only. He's worked a lot, civil engineer basically. That I will put. But I want to just ask one thing, sir. Now STP, I know you people are having meetings separately. Now, are we on what we are going to concentrate now? Only on RWH, or what? Because
Very nice
I can
question.
only.
Very
Most-
nice question, Mamta.
Yes.
I don't think I should answer that. There are enough leaders here. We know
Yes.
that rainwater harvest will bring us only 12 to 15% of total saving for an apartment, as our Hari Goburu also said. So
Okay, sir.
the natural focus should come on STPs, as our Mr. Sitapati Rao has been telling us for the last 2 months at least, right?
Okay.
But having said that, I think I will leave it to other leaders. We have only another 5 minutes before we move to the commendation ceremony.
Okay.
I'm looking forward to that myself. Any other thoughts from anybody else, please? Mr. Manohar, do you want to speak? DJ Manohar? Do you want to speak, please? No. Anyway, anyone else? Any other thoughts from anybody else?
Hello.
Yes, Mr. Manohar. आप कहाँ से बात कर रहे हैं? No, his network is poor. Okay, anyone else, please? Should I
Hi,
request?
Hari. I'm Neil Matthews. I just want to know, after implementation in that apartment.
Okay, you're asking Hari Goburu. Okay.
Yeah. How much was the per family's burden? That is like, was it 10,000 rupees or 20,000 rupees?
As capital cost. Yeah.
Yeah. Because that is also one thing.
It's easy. No, actually, Neil, you know the mathematics is very classics mathematics. I'm sure they would have spent whatever the money was. You see, if I'm putting 2.5 crore liters of an STP, typically I'm spending about 60 to 65 lakhs. Divided by the number of apartments, he told you 430 apartments, he said, 320 flats, he said, 322 or something. So you know the number. So we'll not, I mean, for want of time, I'm requesting that we skip that part, if you don't mind.
No, actually, how I tell them is, usually I tell into the individual houses is that you spend on your front door, say 50,000 rupees. You spend a nice sofa set, 50,000 rupees or 1 lakh. So for the future of your own.
I know, Neil, we know all this. You're also an inveterate veteran salesperson. We all know this, but it's not happening. You know how much I have failed. More than you all collectively, my failure will be larger than all of you in convincing people. I can tell you that. You know, having done whatever I have done for 25 years. Okay, now. Yeah. It's 5:57.
One more suggestion is like, you know, to give to those who are standing with us.
Yes.
We can give wow, that is meaning warrior of water as the addressing instead of a change maker. Maybe.
Oh, wonderful.
One suggestion.
Sure. Okay, 5:58. I will request Vidya, Sri Vidya Sarthi, to make a presentation. Like I told you, she has some short one. I think we have requested her to make it in about 8-10 minutes. Vidya, are you ready to make this, please? Ganesh Sandbag has put up the chat box on the costs, etc. You can all, Neil, you can check that out. The cost per family, he says, is 21,000 rupees. Over to you, Sri Vidya.
I'm not going to take much time. I think a lot of time has already gone by. I'll just take you probably 4-5 minutes just to show, what we have been doing. I mean, so this is what is a sample family water scorecard. So I was asked to make a presentation to see what the approach when for apartments should be, like, how to get people to get more people to participate in this whole exercise. So we thought we will do this kind of a fun activity, when you call the apartment owners to the room, to the thing, and you want to do, and probably give them a idea or revelation of how efficient their water usage is. So we this is a small we kind of do a survey. I will just take you through what are the questions we asked them, and then we come up with this a water scorecard. Okay, so this basically gives them an idea about how much they are using per day. So this is, and we have kind of given scores. Like, for example, what is an efficient score? Are you using? So there are these kind of criteria to decide whether are you an efficient water user. Sometimes it's a revelation to us. We think we are not doing so bad, and then when you actually actually measure the water. So this is what. So we have given these stats for them. efficient and very efficient. So everybody, any family, like this is for one family, we have done that exercise. And so you can see what is it. So LPPD is liters per person per day. So this is what the score that we have arrived. I mean, we have some algorithms to, get to that score, LPPD. And so this is how, and we give them a Google form to fill up. And these are the kind of quick tips or quick saving actions for the family. For example, using aerators for wash basin, kitchen, shower heads. And so with just this low cost hardware change, how they can bring about and move up on the water efficiency score. So this is what actually the whole thing was. And this is what we call as the water diagnostics. And we kind of take them through the presentation as to, what is an efficient score? Why is it important for you to measure it? And, what is the kind of scores you should have, and give them a red light. And these are the kind of things that we take them through. Like, what is outdoor efficiency? How efficiently do you use water for the gardens? So currently, and we tell them, if your score is lesser, so you are doing a better, usage of water, and you're very efficient. So these are the kind of first we show these diagnostics, and then give them an approach to how to improve on their efficiency. So a lot of people, like, we kind of give them some learnings on what is a water neutrality scale, whereas like how sustainable are they using. First of all, and making them understand what sustainability in terms of water is, how are they using their groundwater. So these are the kind of stuff that we take them through in the session, and it's an awareness session that we take the apartments. So this is what is included in them. And so we kind of reward them also, like if you're so something, make it this is part of the marketing exercise, I would say, to get the apartments to get interested into water sustainability. And once they are, we buy their agreement on this whole exercise, then we do a in-depth diagnostics for the entire apartment. So I just wanted to show you what are the kind of things that we are measuring with this exercise. So outdoor efficiency, indoor, how are they using the water, the kitchen taps, and and this is for the outdoor, and then ground neutrality. Okay, so these are the things that I wanted to quickly take you all. And yeah, so that's precisely, this is I just wanted to show you once what does the Google form that we share with the people are, which is in the back end we take it in an Excel and then arrive at do all the calculations. So quick,
please mute Mr. Manohar. You have to mute Mr. Manohar. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so how many villas you have, how many levels, what how do you use, where do you use, type of major outdoor and common area water use, how are you using, check all that, apply. Okay, and then car wash, what is the frequency of car washing, and stuff like this. So just to give you an idea of what goes into this survey form that we first share with the apartment owners. And with this data, which we collect from the entire apartment owners, and then we give them the diagnostics, and also for quick solutions to this one.
What are the outcomes that come? Give us 2 or 3 bullets, Srividya.
So that is what the scores is, what the outcomes are. The neutrality score, your water efficiency.
So if, let's say, you have awarded me as the poorest or the highest water consumer, what do I do with that?
Yeah. So then we give them solutions, basically, to say what you can do to get better score. So that is what the thing is. Basically, show them the mirror, like, hey, here's where you stand. And probably it motivates them, at least some who think they are water efficient, but they're not. So gives them at least a motivation to get to green.
Very nice. Very nice. Anyone who wants to respond to this, please. I will be requesting Ashok Nadkarni also to speak, since he's here today. He never misses. Last time also he didn't miss. Maybe you want to start, Ashokji, by responding to whatever she has presented.
Absolutely beautiful. It's the only thing that I would like to say is how do we get this across to apartment owners and make them understand that they stand to benefit cash wise. Money is a great motivator.
That is the story we all have as a challenge. We have
So-
lots of solution providers, but we don't know how to reach
Yeah.
the consumer.
Yeah, so the only thing we can do is to ask them to compare their water bills month on month, before they do all the things that we ask them to do. So what is your current month bill? And when they do these
Right.
things, they will automatically get a sense of how many water they are saving. So that is,
Right.
and especially another point that I would like to add here is, like, when you start to do the exercise, like for example, how big is your tanker? How much is the frequency of this? How many liters? So you actually have to measure, keep a bottle under the tap and measure, what is the rate of water, when you do the measurements that we ask them to do, because you need all that to complete this Google form. How many liters do you use to water, clean your car, or to do this? That's when the revelation happens. In fact, when I was doing it, I myself like, okay, this is how much it takes to say you by using a water or by using a sprinkler on your a pipe to wash your car, how much difference does it make? So we actually ask them physically to measure everything. Okay, if you're washing your car, how many liters did you, how many buckets did you use? So by doing this exercise, I guess people who are really conscious, who want to be conscious, will definitely get some stark revelations.
Sure.
So
Network is
excuse me.
dropping.
Yeah. So the challenge still remains. Number one, because most apartments do not have dual piping systems, and you cannot bill anybody based on the usage. It's a common usage. So, that's one big challenge that we have to contend with. We have to come up. I don't have a solution right now for that, but
We have some.
that.
We have some. I think we will not discuss it now for want of time. Again,
Right.
we need to move to the ceremony session.
Right.
But
But does the water meter help?
Yes.
Sorry, Hari. I mean, I live in an independent house, so I don't know.
You
but
won't know.
but this
but
water
there are
meters.
people here. It has clearly shown anywhere from 8 to 12% as a drop, a very measured drop. With the use of smart meters. Smart meters is also mandated today, by the way. It's not like, you're actually violating the law if you don't have a smart meter in an apartment. It's not applicable for your individual homes and such. But I can tell you that if you were to apply, I don't know, at an individual level, you would be able to take such action. But as just now, Vikas Mangal put up something, he says, see, what we do is we take all the water bills, we put it up on the bulletin board. Then people understand who is consuming more. People like Neil Matthew, they're all veterans. They're all champions of these things. They know, they understand this process. However, these are applicable where they've already implemented. What about those who don't want to implement still? Where are those managing committees? Where are those homemakers and children? What do we do with them? That is what this is about, of bringing action. I'll stop here. It's 6 o'clock. We are way past our 6:08.
So, Hari sir, I have just one question.
Yes.
We have discussed in the previous meetings as well. So do we now have a list of apartments that we need to action on? Is there
This is a discussion that we take to our
zone
action group. We will take it to the action group apartments. We can't do it in the action forum. If you want, you can talk
Okay,
to
sir.
offline to Mr. Suresh Bhai, who is chairperson of that group, and see how we can take. He has an agenda. You were there in the last meeting.
Yes.
And therefore,
Yeah,
I think it's not appropriate here to talk. If you don't mind, with your permission and with everybody's permission, I will request the host to put up the ceremony commendation. Yeah.
Yes, sir. Please just wait a second.
Thank you. Shivam Kaushik is from Jaipur. He's one of our research associates, wonderful guy. He's an engineer who was working in Capgemini, one of those companies, decided he didn't want to do that, and he's, joined this group for driving this purpose. Yes.
Okay, sir.
You need to start. right, we start with the commendation ceremony. The first of the apartments is Classic Benchmark Apartment. I don't know who is present here from Classic Benchmark to receive the award. It's a virtual conferring of this scroll of honor. To give this certificate virtually. Maybe you want to congratulate them and invite the representative to speak.
Mr. Vikas Mangal of Classic Benchmark
he is available here. Okay, wonderful. Okay. Suresh Bhai, can you take over and can I request you to offer this award to them, please?
Yes. So, congratulations to Classic Benchmark Apartment. Is a commendable achievement which you achieved. And we from WOW Action Group Apartments appreciate your efforts in reaching this milestone. So if you would like to talk to a few minutes, I would request you to tell us what made you to achieve sustainability on this front.
Few seconds, maybe 30, 40 seconds.
No, first of all, thank you very much. This is Vikas Mangal. I'm sure you can hear me.
Yes.
So, yeah. So thanks for the invite also to Mr. From the NESRA Rainwater Harvesting, who has who are the agency who has done this work for us. In fact, our apartment, we are a 240 apartment, flat apartment in Bangalore on the South Bangalore. And now almost we are saving 17 lakhs liter of water. The first thing I want to say that, okay, everyone has to speak about how to influence the people in the apartment. One thing I want to, that whoever the service provider or the apartment associations who are approaching the service provider that we want to do this, please be fair in your assessment, because initially it was very prohibitory, because we got the quotes like 20 lakhs or 25 lakhs and none of the apartment associations are going to approve this. But thanks to the NESRA Rainwater, Mr. Vivek, he has come up with a very practical solution, very cost effective solutions, which was easy to implement, and our apartment association gladly accepted it. And we almost, like in the last 2.5 years, we got our money back in terms of the water saving. So my request is that please don't think it as a profit, highly profitable. Make your margins, but give the practical. We are not the technocrats, right? Who knows right about this? So please.
Yes, one of the ideas, Vikas, I'm glad you mentioned this. I'm really glad that you were candid. One of the ideas is, it has been suggested by the WOW leaders, that WOW will approve some of the supply, the solution providers. I won't call them vendors. Vendors is a bad word for such people, because they're synthesizing ideas. Yeah. I mean, if NESRA came and did what they did for you, they thought through the process. It was not simply coming and giving you, selling a product to you, right? They were selling a wholesome solution. So we are looking at such a possibility at WOW of creating a set of, solution providers, as I call them, who are high on integrity and ethic, as you said. You're right. They should make a margin, but the solution has to be cost effective. Thank you so much, and congratulations to Classic Benchmark Apartment for having done what you have done, because you will inspire more such solutions, like Mamta said, for others also. Thank you so much. And you can print this and possibly also, share it with your members in the association, as well as with the homeowners, whichever way you want to do it. But thanks to COVID, thanks also to efficiency. If we had done the same meeting in a hotel, you know how much it would have cost us, carbon-wise and money-wise. Carbon is this is a more carbon-efficient way of giving away awards. And therefore, congratulations once again to you, Vikas. Suresh Bhai, can I request you to announce the next person? Shivam will put up the next person's name, Chartered Beverly Apartments. Thank you. Suresh Bhai.
Yeah, our next scroll of honor is Chartered Beverly Hills Apartment. And congratulations to you. And I'm sure you would have done a lot of work in conserving water, and in the areas of whatever the areas you would have suggested. Like, for example, STP, rainwater harvesting, water aerators, and water meters. Right. So congratulations once again, and take it forward.
Yes, as Hari Goburu said, they have already done 5 million liters of rainwater harvest. Totally, they have done 50 million with STP and others. Congratulations to all of you. Who is the representative who is picking up the award, please?
Left the meeting, sir. I am his solution provider, Vivek from Nesra. I mean, I will convey this.
Lovely. Thank you and congratulations to the entire team of yours. He spoke very well of you, and to Hari, Goburu and others also there. Congratulations once again. The next on the list of honors is, who is this now? We have got Mahesh, I think, from, no, we have got Ideal Carnation Apartments. Well, can I ask Mr. Sitapati Rao to do the honors of conferring this award upon Ideal Carnation Apartment, please? Mr. Sitapati Rao, if you're there.
Yes, whoever has contributed for water saving in this particular apartment, congratulations. And I would like to make whoever is representing that apartment to just say a few words, what exactly has been done.
Yeah, this is Kaushik. I hope I'm audible.
Yes.
So we have done the RWH work by doing it on the first phase. We have just finished in February. And Nisara has done a wonderful job in terms of explanation, how much water we will be saving and what is the return of investment. Since I'm presiding over the association, so it was difficult to basically, convince everybody. But having said that, everybody got convinced after a 3 months time period, and then, we went through the first phase. Thank you very much for the. What
would your message be to Bangalore citizens as well as to our WOW members? What would be your single message?
Message is basically to save water, because based on the IIC study, water is going to be a scarcity in this particular city. So if our next generation has to survive, and if I want to survive for the next 20 years in Bangalore, start conserving water in whatever way we want to do.
As a person who bought into the solutions, what would you advise some of the WOW members as well as Bangalore citizens to be doing in order to implement water solutions? What would be your advice as a solutions buyer?
Solution should be that, first of all, convince the association. It is the association's job to convince rest of the people out here. Show them a good ROI, show them why it is needed, show what is going to happen in the particular city 10 years down the line, 5 years down the line in terms of water, how much they're going to spend, how much you're going to save if you are doing RWH. That is what you can convince.
Lovely.
That is how you can convince.
Four items. You're saying ROI, why it is needed, 10 years from now, how will it be, and what is savings we achieve. Wonderful, Mr. Kaushik. Congratulations once again to your entire team and all the families at Ideal Carnation Apartment. And I'm sure you'll share this happy news with all your family members there. And, I think that's the only way we will be able to inspire more such change.
Thanks to Nisara we are waiting for the phase 2 to be done. Phase 2 to be done.
Wonderful.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
So I move on to the next person. We have got two more water donors, as we call them. This is called Lake Wind Sankranti Residency Apartment. There we are. Mr. Sitapati Rao, back to you to do the honors. Mr. Rao? Mr. UVS Rao? I think we have lost him. Okay. Arun, since you're also an advisor, a core member at the Alltech Foundation, can I request you to speak? Arun, if you're still there. Arun Sita, yes.
Yes, sir, I'm here.
So thank you so much. Before he speaks, let me tell you, Arun Sitaram is also an advisor for higher education, directly works with the Deputy Chief Minister. He's been doing fantastic work in the last 1 year without a rupee being paid. He's one of those extremely foolish people who will serve public cause first. And he's brought transformation, I will say, to higher education. Over to you, Arun.
Thank you for the introduction. I commend the residency apartment that has made this contribution. I think it will go a long way with each of these commendations, setting an example for others to follow, irrespective of the type of apartment or people choosing to live in apartments. I think these contributions will go a long way in concrete jungles, saying that we are also contributing to save water. because most of the times apartments are labeled as concrete jungles who contribute to removing a lot of greenery around, but it also accommodates communities which are much closer. More importantly, not just from a sustainability point of view, but also from a community behavioral change. It's a huge impact that you have created. So I think it is worth commending, and it's nice that WOW has recognized this. And the recognition is only from what we are recognizing you, but the work you've done goes beyond this recognition. So I'd like to congratulate the team there, and I think you should continue to do this, and please share this with apartments nearby and say what you've done. And as much as WOW will tell the story, you please tell this among your friends and others in different apartments as well of what you've done. And I think you should be proud of it and not be pulling back something of not being boasting about what you've done. I think you've done something not for this generation, but for generations to come. Please feel free to boast about it. Put this on social media, tell the world that you're doing this. Let others feel ashamed at least and follow what you're doing. I think now is the time when we have to come out and shame people out. Otherwise, people don't seem to understand why such a mission is being done, and it is for their own good. So sometimes, like how we tell children, if they don't listen, abuse them. I think we need to get to that kind of a stage today to make people understand. And sadly, we have to do that with adults today. And I'm seeing that brunt everywhere. So I think we need to do it. So please be proud of what you've done and tell the world that you've done this. So next time in your MC meeting, tell everybody that you've achieved this. And this is commendable by leaders across the city. And it's for every other city member to come and watch and see what you are, and invite people to come and see what you've done. I think among your own community, let other people feel jealous of it. And I'm sure the ladies will carry out the message much more aggressively than what you've achieved. So please do that, and wish you the very best going forward and continue this good work, sir. Great.
Very lovely message. From Lakewind Sankranti Residency Apartment. Who is the representative? Award from Sri Arun Sitaram?
Logged out.
Oh, you are again coming in on their behalf? Okay, they have left it. They were here? Vivek?
Sir.
So, is the representative here available?
No, he just logged out, sir.
Oh, he logged off. Okay, you will receive it from Arun Sitaram on their behalf. My request to you, as he said, is share the message, request them to give this certificate, this copy of it, to every family. Every single family in that apartment must get the certificate. If possible, they must take a print and, frame it. And if there are guests coming to their home post-COVID, somebody looks at it and says, hey, what is this certificate that you got? What is this scroll of honor? And that is how the message will go. And as he
I think you should also just make a billboard right below your apartment board and put this outside that anybody on the road should see it and say we are proud of it that we have got this honor.
Yes,
wonderful.
Sir.
Can you do that, Vivek Chandra?
That they are saving water, which is
yes. Vivek Chandra, can you do this in both the apartments, that at the at the entrance to the apartment or something that they put up?
I'll take the permission of the association and definitely put up a board there.
Right, saying that that this apartment is a WOW Scroll of Honor apartment. That will be very wonderful for them, because then it'll stoke, like Arun Sitaram said, it will stoke that deep sense of pride and belonging. It is such effort that will make such change. Like he said, children, we beat them up, we reprimand them if they do something that is wrong. About time we did that to all these adults who are not taking solutions. Yes.
Sometimes making others jealous also works.
Of course, envy is a great factor. You're right in such conversions. Thank you so much.
Earlier when they did rainwater harvesting, I remember the people used to pick up and say outside they used to put a board saying our apartments are rainwater harvesting compliant, and the next person would say, oh, these guys are, I don't know what they're doing. Let us be, otherwise we'll also be way behind the rest of them. So I think let them feel that. I think we need to demonstrate that. So let's put a board outside and say,
wonderful, this
is what they are doing for water for the city. And I think somebody in the newspaper will pick it up and say, this is what they're doing.
So Vivek Chandra, to you as well as to Vijay Raj and all of you champions there, wherever you have done it, wherever we have given the scroll of honor, please ensure what our Arun Sitaram is advising, so that we will all carry this collective sense of pride. Yes? Yes, Vivek?
Yeah, I will collect the soft copy of this. I'll make the board from my side.
We will send it to you. We will send it to you.
Respective apartments.
Wonderful, wonderful.
Thank
The
you, sir.
last of the water donors, Malibu Palazza Apartments. Thank you. Mr. Sitapati Rao, we lost you earlier. Are you there? Can you do the honors?
When you called Arun Sitaraman, I took it that you were calling
Because
me.
we missed you. I called you, but you are not. Yeah, go on, please.
Oh, fine, sir. I think congratulations, Malibu Palazza Apartment. I would like to know how many liters of water they have saved through this rainwater harvesting initiative at their apartment.
Wonderful. Who is the representative here receiving the award?
Yeah, hello,
please?
sir. Yeah, this is Praveen from Malibu Palazzo.
Namaste, Praveen Hugisetra. Very nice of you.
Sir.
Yes.
Thank you, sir. So ours is a very small apartment that's consisting of around 27 apartments. But initially, as others mentioned, right, so there was a hesitance from the other residents as well to implement the rainwater harvesting because we had a borewell. So we had two borewells. One was having which was dried almost 7 years back, and other one was active borewell. But last 2-3 years, like more than 3 years, it was drying up during the summer seasons. So that's when we approached multiple vendors, but the cost was high. So that's when I approached Nesara, who is our neighbor in RR Nagar. Okay, so that's when I got introduced to Nesara, and they implemented at the cost of less than ₹1 lakh. Okay, because for a smaller apartment, even ₹1 lakh is high cost actually. But somehow we convinced the other members and we installed it. So the one good thing is the borewell, which was dried up almost 7 years back, so that has been restored just by feeding the, that is, we have around. Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. Go on.
Yes. Yeah, so yeah, we have around more than 18,000 square feet of roof tower. So 75% is feeded. We'll reuse the water, and if anything is excess, that will be sent to the active borewell. But the 25% is directly sent to the borewell, which is dried up. So after feeding the rainwater for almost a year, so now that borewell has got 425 feet of water, which we are planning to resell that water to the nearby apartments.
Lovely.
Okay,
wonderful.
so it
Wonderful. but let me tell you.
Yeah, one
suggestion to you, Praveen. Sorry to interrupt you.
No,
if you have more water in the borewell, don't take too much out of it and again sell it, because you are again depleting the groundwater.
Yes.
Let it be. Let it be. It's good for you. Good for the rest of the neighborhood. You know. So don't draw too much water simply because it's available. I can guarantee you, like somebody said earlier, Vivek Chandra said, in 10 years from now, it will not be there. I can guarantee you that.
Correct. Exactly. Sure, sir. So this is just a thought because people, it's a smaller apartment, right? We don't have a revenue. So that's when they tried it, because the other apartments are trying to pull the borewell water from the tanker waters.
Right.
Okay, so the Balandur, we stay in Balandur actually.
Right.
Okay, so
congratulations.
Water scarcity.
Congratulations
thank you.
Once again. And my request is, like Mr. Arun Sitaram said, to all the 27 families in your apartment, please share this honor.
Sure, sir.
And ask them to see that they share with their friends, because that is the only way we can bring change. Right?
I want to add one more thing. This apartment has also implemented individual submeter.
Water meter.
Yes, wonderful.
You can ask them about the water saving from that.
Yes, so we are saving at least 10 to 15% of water because we could not measure in last 3-4 months because most of the families are vacant. But otherwise, we are saving at least 10 to 15% of water when compared to others actually. So we have water meter installation done from WeGot, that is WeGot, which is a Chennai-based vendor.
Yes.
So we have installed. Yeah, we have water meters installed at each inlet. That is basically minimum 3 inlets, one for the kitchen, common bathroom, and the master bedroom.
Wonderful.
So you have to see how much water you are using in each of these. So because every individual have got an app and they can check how much water they are using.
Okay. To respond to Mr. Sitapati Rao's question, totally between all the solutions, how much are you dropping the freshwater demand? Totally. In one word. How many liters, Praveen?
Yeah, every day we have a consumption of with a full house, like close to 75 members are there in apartment. So we need at least 15K of water, but now we are reducing on a daily basis at least 10 to 15% of water.
Lovely. How many liters is that? 27, therefore 30.
About 3,000.
About 3,000-4,000. Correct. I got it.
Yes.
You must be about 18-20,000 liters in a day. Totally.
Yes, exactly.
Congratulations once again, Praveen
Thank you, sir.
Hogishetra,
Thank
on
you.
behalf of Malibu Palazzo Apartment, on behalf of WOW Foundation, or the Alltech Foundation. We are conferring this award upon you. We have the next one to come up is the champions, the people who made this happen. And those are, let me start with.
Doctor, there's one suggestion to Praveen.
Yes.
Can I?
Yes, please.
He has got
Yes,
only,
please, sir.
his apartments are only just about 27, right?
Yes.
Exactly.
Now,
Yes.
I think in another forum, people are talking about let every person save 2 liters of water per day.
Yes.
That's what they are saying.
Right.
So in the apartment where I was living earlier, we were having 36 apartments. We took a decision, put 36 overhead tanks, and every day 600 liters of water used to be getting filled up. And if any particular family is consuming the entire 600 liters of water, we were telling, you have to wait for the next day to get the water.
Fair enough. Good idea. We will leave this. Yeah. The next scroll of honor is being offered to Mr. Vivek Chandra of Nesara Rainwater Harvesting. Congratulations, Vivek This time, Vivek Chandra, you are receiving it on your own behalf. Congratulations to you directly for having influenced such change. Great work, actually, as Ganesh Shanbhag is saying.
Thank you,
and wonderful of you to have done this. Maybe pray, for many more such apartments that you do in this year and add to the mission target of WOW. Can I request Suresh Bhai now to give this award away to Vivek Chandra?
Congratulations, Mr. Vivek Chandra.
Thank you.
And I just want to check how you are able to retain your people to do a good job. It's not easy to retain people. The rainwater harvesting work involves a lot of plumbing work, workmanship, and continuity. I just want to check up with you how you have done this.
I've been working with the same team from past 12 years, sir. 1 or 2 people might have gone and new people have come, but the core of the team have remained with me.
Right.
They also understand my style of working, and I also feed them with good work, and I give preference to quality of the work. So I'm able to retain the same team from past 12 years.
Very good. Congratulations. Keep it up.
Congratulations, Vivek Chandra and the Nesara team for phenomenal work that you guys are doing. Fantastic work.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. The next distinguished award winner is Mahesh from Team Direct. Mahesh, congratulations. Can I request Dr. Daniel Albuquerque, since you are a guest from outside Bangalore, to...
Yeah, my uncle passed away, sir, today.
Oh, I'm so sorry, but you still made time for us. Thank you. Was it on COVID?
Sorry, sir?
Was it a COVID loss?
Yeah, COVID loss. Yeah. He was 71-year-old.
I'm so sorry about it, but our sincere condolences. Daniel Albuquerque, can you give away the award, please? Are you there? No. Yeah, there he is, but I think he's not able to unmute. I'll go to Ganesh Shanbhag. Since Ganesh Shanbhag has been a true champion, actually, I'm really indebted and grateful to him for all the work that he's doing. Even now, he is sharing a lot of information with Shivani on what we should be doing. Ganesh Shanbhag, can you confer this award upon Mahesh?
Yes, it's an honor. Thank you, sir. Mahesh from Team Direct, really thank you for whatever you are doing for the sustainable living as well as causing a great positive impact on the ecology. Thanks a lot, and looking forward to have this impact a lot of other civilians around you. Thanks for this, and yeah, please keep up the good work. Thanks.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you for recognizing me. And I'm sorry I'm not able to talk anything else.
I know. Really sincere condolences. I hope the family has the strength. Thank you for finding time to be with us. Shows your commitment that despite
Thank
your
you.
loss, you have come.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Any message do you have for all of us?
Sir, very simple message. As I have seen several deaths, please, all of us, whatever we are doing, it is not only for the money, it is for the nature, but it has to be published more. That say whatever has happened, that we have screwed the nature. But till today, as I met you last time, I told you, nobody is worried about the nature. See, whatever work we are doing, see, some percentage it is for the money, but all of us know we are doing something good. See, we can earn somewhere else also, but doing this, see, it is a self-satisfaction. That's also. Thank you.
Mahesh Muddappa, congratulations once again and condolences for what you have lost in the family.
Thank you. I'm sorry.
Can I request Arun Sitaram to do the honors for the next? There are only two more. The young man called Nitin Balaji from Varuna Enterprises is the next award winner. Thank you. Congratulations, Nitin Balaji. How are you keeping? Can
Hello,
you
sir.
speak? Yes.
Can you audible? I'm
Yes,
audible?
yes. Please put up the video
Yeah,
also.
thank you for
so that
recognizing
everybody-
me, sir. I'm good.
Put up your video so that we all can see you. Yes, there you are. Arun Sitaram, can you do the honors, please, for Nitin Balaji?
Yeah. Congratulations, Nitin, and thank you for being one of the patrons and the champions for this program. I think it's important that champions like you continue to pursue, which also motivates us enough to start seeing that this really becomes sustainable. Like most of the people say, anything that comes free is definitely not sustainable. And it has to be at a cost, but cannot be at a cost which is not sustainable by individuals as well. So providing solutions and also promoting such a kind of an initiative and being part of it and seeing an entrepreneurship opportunity in that and driving it, I think that is very, very critical for success. If we cannot create green entrepreneurs and make them successful, I think this drive will never get and reach its objective. Because until such time, individuals are sustainable, programs like this cannot be sustainable. And continuing to see that the end goal for you is still sustainable while you make a sustainable livelihood is also very, very critical. So thank you for taking that initiative. And very few people realize the risk in entrepreneurship. Everybody can sit in judgment for entrepreneurs and say they made profits, they made money, but the cause that they are part of is never appreciated, either providing jobs and livelihoods or actually taking the risk of getting bad names for whatever reasons that you have done or not done. I think being part of that journey and continue to do that, I commend you for being part of it and wish you that you continue to be sustainable in business so that you can continue this agenda and support such initiatives going forward and make sure that water is something that you become a champion of. Congratulations to you. Please keep the good work going. Continue to support all the people in this endeavor. And I'm sure that there is a lot of areas that you can invest in terms of research to continue this and make this happen. So I think you should set aside some part of it for your research activity, even if it is, the moment somebody says research organizations run away. I mean, I was having a conversation yesterday with a US company. And when I said research, he said, yeah, we've set aside a research of $15,000 every year. So I said, what are you doing in that $15,000? He's saying in that $15,000, we are looking at how else can we make it more efficient such that, people can really appreciate what we are doing and what we are contributing. So I think though it's a Marcom kind of an activity, now people want to see value in it. So my request to you is, as much as you're invested into WOW, as well as support on that, I think you should set aside some amount of money for research, which will help a lot of people and include your customers as part of your research. How can you make sure that these customers can also contribute in the betterment of your process? So out of the $15,000, they're spending $10,000 on customers. and asking customers to say, you are my user. I don't want an R&D team to do this, but can you give me ideas of how I can improve usability and make sure that I can enhance whatever I'm trying to do for you? So he says every year they end up spending the entire $10,000 on this research. And now they have quadrupled their revenues because of this kind of investment that they have made. So it is not the amount of money that you're doing, but the approach towards research base is what has made green entrepreneurs successful in many of these countries. So that's one of the things that I just wanted to share. I know in India, advice is free, but this is something that will help you to really look at and take this forward as well. Right. Sure. So congratulations to you. Continue to good work and do continue to support us. Wish you the very best.
Thank you very much.
Nitin,
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
Do you want to respond to our Sitaram sir, or do you want to leave a message for all people?
Yeah, thank you very much for recognizing me. We are trying our level best in saving the rainwater. We'll be doing this forever. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. That takes us to the very last, certainly not the least, as they say, award winner as a WOW champion, true champion. This man is, I've known him now for what, 14 or 15 years. He has been one hell of a brick, you know. His name is Vijay Raj. He has a second name, so I don't like to sort of talk about that. Vijay has been in rainwater harvest, I don't know, for 15 years. Millions of liters, billions of liters of water that he has done. Numbers of thousands of homes and schools and whatever else that he has done. Vijay Raj Sishodia from Farmland Rainwater Harvesting. This time, I will ask Vikas Brahmawar, chairperson of the Action Group for Water Recovery. Young man, but he's been doing some phenomenal work. So Vikas, your turn to now confer this honor, rare honor on Vijay Raj.
Mr. Vijay Raj, you have been an inspiration. You have done a great job. We take inspiration from your works. Keep up the good work. Keep inspiring all of us. Thank you for doing this, Mr. Vijay Raj.
Vijay, your message for all of us. Your message. I know you've been speaking a lot, but.
Thank you everyone. We have been blessed to be in this field of saving water, and very fortunate enough that we could create 272 dedicated green entrepreneurs like Vivek Chandra, Mahesh, Nitin, and so many 272 green entrepreneurs who are dedicated for saving water throughout the country, and have been able to spread the message of saving water. As Sir was saying, we have already invested in the research also. As he rightly pointed out, it is very much required to do, because water is one subject which is very least researched. So we are there, and I dedicate my life till my last breath for saving water. Thank you.
Wonderful. In fact, Vivek Chandra is writing to you, Vijay. He's saying he's been a mentor for solution providers like me. You have been extremely humble. For those of you who don't think he is a 30-year-old, he looks 30 years old anyway. He has a daughter who is a doctor who is dedicated to, serving some of these COVID victims in the last, for a few months now. Vijay himself has been supporting a lot of the relief works for COVID victims. Phenomenal person, wonderful guy to know. Been a privilege, Vijay, to know you well. Thank you so much. And you're also a key leader here. Yeah, applause to all of you. Thank you so much for being here. We have far exceeded our time. It's 6:44, but it's been an excellent session, very rewarding. Maybe the next 2-3 minutes, any of you senior leaders or anyone who wants to offer 30 seconds of any message that you want to leave for this session on bringing water, bringing action to the ground. Anyone?
Yeah, I want to take quick 30 seconds and I want to especially congratulate Praveen sir, who has been awarded. And why it's a special congratulations to him is because he is having a smaller apartment of 27 dwellable units, and no BWSSB laws are applicable on them because it is less than 40. Still, he was able to convince the residents and he was able to take the initiative forward, and a special salute to him.
Absolutely. Anyone else?
Thank you, sir.
Anyone else who wants to speak? Just share your thoughts. Anything. It could be just an emotion. It could be an idea.
I think
Sir,
what are the
good
success
evening.
stories of these apartments?
Yes,
I
Mr.
think we have to put it in the WOW forum
It will
so
be
that
done.
everybody will understand
It will be
what
done.
they have done to the society in conserving water.
We will certainly be doing that. In fact, Ganesh is leading that with Shivani Thakur and others. Mamta, yes, please, go on.
Yes, I would like to really take up the marketing communication activity, which I have been doing for various companies. And I definitely like to take it for WOW. And when I meant survey, I meant survey of the consumers, how happy or what made them.
Yes, sir, Mamta.
One
In
small
fact,
request I have, sir. I have one small request. And some of them might not like it. I think we should stop always blaming the management of any apartment, sir. Let's make it a positive. I learned this in my liking.
Absolutely.
Always talk the positive things about others or about yourself. Sir, this is one small
No. See, we have not been blaming the management. What we are doing is 95% of the managements and residents okay. Only the 5%. We are not blaming anybody there. Only the 5% who are preventing.
but your point is taken,
I
Mamta.
have not,
I
I
agree
have
with
not
you.
sent the,
We
I have
agree with
not
you.
sent my this. I have done HM, I have done Purva. Mr. Vijay Raj knows, Mr. Michael has been from the farmland, has been always, because my husband used to do a big apartments and all that. But please, sir, this is a sincere request. It's up.
Done. You are very right. You are absolutely right. We will take it up like that. Anybody else who wants to speak? Any last 30 seconds? Anyone before we close at 6:46 just now?
When are we going to have the exclusive STP meet, sir?
That we will do offline, Mr. Rao. It won't come in as an action forum meeting. It'll be a technical meeting. We can do it offline.
Yeah, offline.
Yes, please.
Yeah.
Anyone else? Any last thoughts before we close?
Hariharanji, Ashok
Yes,
here.
yes, sir.
I was wondering if we can make a series of small 2-minute videos only. Of
It's already available on our archives on the website. There are about 35 or 40 of them, less than 60 seconds to 70 seconds. You can please visit our website. It's all there, which are taken from such sessions. As a matter of fact, I sent you one of your own that we did for you.
I saw that. I saw that.
There are many more like that. In fact, even today's session, our people are all listening. They will then do a set of what are called time something. They're called timestamps or whatever. And then after that, they make these little films. There are wonderful people here. I will ask the youngest of the lot to speak. He has been doing some very, very good work. Kevin Antonio Gonzalez. Can you speak, please? Please speak. Don't worry. I know you are not the speaking variety. Kevin, speak.
Yes, hello, sir. I hope I'm audible. Yes. I just like to congratulate everybody who received the awards. I think it's really good that we've been able to try and identify the people who've actually been helping us with the mission and the cause, and also on our back end we'll try to help as much as possible and keep the mission fuel from our side.
Wonderful. Vineet, do you want to speak? You are a 21-year-old or even younger than Kevin, I think, a few months. Vineet.
Hello, everyone. I'm Vineet. I'm really glad to be a part of this forum, to be working around these really experienced industrialists or industrial leaders. I'd like to congratulate everyone who's won the awards today. So,
Vineet is a cheerful guy. He's a little nervous just now. Wonderful guy. He's doing his engineering third year, I think, going into the fourth year.
I have a quick 1 minute for Kevin, because I have been working with Kevin and he brings in a lot of energy. In fact, when you spoke about those 30-second videos, right, he actually optimized the web page to make it mobile friendly and load it at a very super fast pace. So it's been really great. And whatever website we see today, 90% of the effort is by Kevin.
Yeah, and the credit, the person who has been driving all that is Shivani Thakur. On one side, there are other guys like Nikki. They're all unsung heroes. They never speak in these meetings.
But one thing about Kevin is whenever I say something to him, he never says no.
Yeah, he's a sweetheart. Nice fellow. Young man. Finally, it is such collective effort that makes this happen. I mean, you are here, like our Suresh Pai said, there has to be a copyright cost given. Because he got you. Sri Vidya came because of you. So you see, it's a ripple, and there is such fantastic domino. Thank you, Srividya, for that wonderful presentation. Very short and crisp that you made. Usha, you have not spoken today, but you are that strong, silent observer who also acts. We know that. And I think on that note, we will close now. Thanks so much, Arun and Dan and others present here today. I know you will share your notes with me later. Sharath was also here today, Arun. So it's nice to have such thoughts and ideas that are coming our way. And I'm sure we'll make, like Vijay said day before yesterday, we are absolutely sure we will make this 1,000 crore liters happen, you know.
So I have just one request, if I can make.
Yes, sir.
I don't know whether it's...
yes, please.
I think Vijay Raj has done quite a bit of work with schools and others.
Yes.
I'm part of the UNESCO team. So UNESCO has the Education for Sustainability Conference happening starting from the 17th.
Okay.
So they're launching their Education for Sustainable Development strategy and roadmap for transforming sustainable education in the field of sustainability.
Wonderful.
But it's of course skewed to a large extent towards SDGs that is there. But if you can put a small gist of a paragraph that you can send me about WOW and how that impacts sustainability.
Actually,
in the next couple of days.
You said focus on SDGs. SDG 8, 10 and 11 are clearly impacted with what we are doing.
Exactly.
8,
So
10 and 11.
if you can put me a note on that, I'll get that included in the conference so that it gets a global eye. Because I'm also a member, so I can put it there and it can get the attention. And that strategy is supposed to be released. I know it's late. Let me see if I can do something on that. I've got that included in the conservation part of it, in the IUCN part of it, which is there.
Yes.
But that's not happening at least until December now. It's been postponed because of COVID. But the UNESCO Education for Sustainable Development is going ahead virtually in Berlin. So it starts from 17th, which is on Monday.
Lovely.
So if you can send me one paragraph,
by tomorrow
not more than 200 words, I post that up for them to take it up from there.
Lovely. By the morning, it will be with you. I'll send you a small deck.
Yeah, and its alignment to SDGs will be good. We can say that this is what it is. There are initiatives by a lot of districts now to start setting up SDG targets. I'll share that with you separately and we can see how we can use this. And kind of one of the outcomes that WOW should do at the end of the year, it's just a suggestion that I'm putting up on the table for everybody, is to see how can we pick up some best practices and post these best practices that have happened in most of these apartments and these champions. I think it'll be important for us to share that, and that comes on public domain, that not just Bangalore, then other cities can start using to replicate these things of what Bangalore has learned. And that is something that we can link with all the other initiatives that happens.
Sure. Ganesh, can you respond to that last bit on best practices and implementation in a way that we take these case studies, including that of Saras, where Suresh Pai lives and Satish and others are there, in a way that their actual on-the-ground work is displayed in some simple ways with the help of the team, so that these best practices reach out to others?
Yeah, so there are two approaches which I had put forth. One is making them as a stories on the social media, where either we create a small literature or we take the literature directly from the beneficiary. Like whoever spoke to us, we can make some one paragraph story out of it, and we can see what is the ROI with respect to both nature as well as the cost, whatever they are getting. And the second one is what we call as in shorts or shorts videos, right? Like whatever the time lapse stuff, whatever you had mentioned, right? So we can make them and we can host it in the same way as we are doing the AF videos. So these are the two things what I would suggest.
And just a small thing on that. Okay, see, that is useful as a strategy when you really look at creating an awareness on that, right? But everybody is not as efficient as Hari in mathematics. Now I can't do that math the way he does. Within 15 minutes he can tell you what that is. But if we can really keep a focus and create a case study, okay, like how you write a formal case. The reason why I'm saying that is people should be able to take this case study and embed it into programs, into courses right now. So if we can say that, look, we are not talking about mathematical possibilities or mathematical problems that is going to be in a textbook as an exercise. But here is a case study that we want you to study and see how you can create a replication or drive it all the way to policy. At the end of the day, these case studies are something that we want to write. And case studies have a standard format to be written for academic purposes.
Sure. Ganesh,
so we can create those.
This is a different agenda he has got. That is, he's looking at education at one more level, which is semi-academia sort of orientation for particularly in the context of children, UNESCO or IUC and what. We will discuss this offline, Arun, and we'll come back to you and see how we can do that.
And it's a good suggestion. Thanks for it, Arun, sir. We'll work with Hari, sir.
Arun, your earlier suggestion also on how, for instance, if I'm a small house somewhere, there is one gentleman here called Jagdish from some house in Hyderabad. Now, how do we make something simple as a solution framework, which can be, I was discussing this with Mr. UVS Rao, and he said that he will be able to do. So you're right. We must be able to, craft this in a way that we are able to break down the methodology and the process. We will see how we will work on it. Good suggestions. It's 7 o'clock, 6:55. This is the longest session, I think, thanks to the commendation ceremony. This has gone on. And what is amazing is that only 7 people have dropped out of the lot of people who came in the beginning. I think it was 42 at a peak. They're still 32. Thank you so much for being here, all of you, including those from outside of Bangalore. We will connect with you. People like Sunil I think Sunil is still here. Sunil Loran is here, although his president has left the meeting. Jagdish is here from Hyderabad. There was another gentleman from Jaipur who was here earlier. So it's wonderful to have all of you. Thank you so much. I will close here. Thanks to every one of you for making these events as effective as they are getting to be. I was personally excited also with the learning that I have secured today. I made lots of notes. I will try and see how I can translate that and give it back to you all. Thank you so much once again. Yeah.
Thank you, everyone. Have a nice evening and weekend.
Have a
Bye.
great weekend.
Have a nice weekend. Bye.
Thank you. Have a great